about it, think 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 about it.
What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another gold nugget that you could pick up or you could kick it aside. You know, something very disturbing to me is really showing me why Africa is sputtering in its growth, in its development, in its mentality, in its prosperity. You see, we have to overcome this mentality of what the Western worlds have told us how to operate countries matters. We have to overcome the mentality of the Western worlds telling us how we can do our governmental business. We have to overcome what the Western worlds, what the Eastern worlds have told us what is right and what is wrong. You see, some of these African countries still have shackles on their brains, and nobody questions why we do this. Wearing these wigs, their judicial system, their judges, with wearing Western blonde wigs is the most stupidest form of act I've seen out of an African in the continent. How ridiculous that our own people look. Now, I'm not trying to beat you all up, but I'm just asking, have you sat down to ask yourself, we have had our independence for 50 to 60 years, and y'all still walking around with wigs from the Europeans on an African head. Do you even know the spiritual context of that? As long as you put on the hair, the head, the mentality, you will behave and operate just like them. It is a shame that these wigs could cost anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a piece. Some countries have spent over hundreds of thousands of dollars. What are y'all thinking? You know, when I go through Africa, 13 countries to be exact, it blows my mind on the thought process of many people in Africa. Now, I understand when you're colonized and that colonizer has left mentalities and old schools of thoughts with you, you will begin to operate within it. But there should come a day when you have to question the very things you do. Why is a very good start. Why do you operate this way? Why do you think this way? Why do we do things like this? For they have shoved down this democracy government that many African countries have subscribed to, but have not flourished. Why is it that the Arab countries in Africa are flourishing, and yet the central and southern parts of Africa is not? I ask each and every one of you politicians and you citizens that are there in Africa, from the time you got your independence, what have you done new in the country without their help? Because where I've looked at, I still see old buildings that exist from the 60s. I still see these old dilapidated roads from the 60s. The infrastructures are falling apart. I see nothing new that you have brought upon your country to be able to allow your people to enjoy. Power plants, water plants, infrastructure, bridges and roads that I still see is obsolete from the time of your independence. 60 years old. When are you going to wake up and take off the shackles, the chains off of your minds, Africa? The first you need to do is burn those wigs. You will take a wig from a European, which signifies taking on the mindset, the mentality of a judicial system from what they told you should operate within your system. Now, I got love for you all Africans, for I'm African. But it takes somebody like me to be able to point out to you what the errors of where you stand at and what you do to your own people. For your practices, they are ridiculous. They're biased. They're corrupt. They bring no freedom to your people. So what do? You rather take the money and put it in your own pocket, thinking about you and your children, sending them over to a Western college, sending them over there to build another country, while the rest of your citizens suffer. How is that? We need to wake up, family. We need to recognize that Africa is the showcase, is the spotlight. It is the now and the future. If we take off the old schools of thoughts, the shackles, the wigs off our brains, off our heads, off our minds. Now, you don't even have to wear a wig to still be enslaved by a mentality. I see it every day in damn America. That's right. Capitalize D, put America, and capitalize the E. You got damn Erica. Now, yes, there are people here who sits in this country and believe that they are something other than African, other than black, other than who they truly are. This is where I stand in this country. And it's a shame that we have people who have taken on mindsets to behave and act like a Western European, who would rather be biased and prejudiced against their own, who would rather kill their own. We have to wake up and take off the wigs. We need to start to go ahead and look at what is the new thought process of how and who we are as people. Now, there again, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm bashing the mentality, your thought. Africa, you need to take off the wigs, and the citizens need to demand that. And then and until then, the old school's a way of doing business. Government will always remain the same. You need to start in-house before trying to start outside of the house. If you can't get you right, how are you going to get the rest of your country right? This is your man, not your boy, dropping you another gold nugget that you could pick up or you could kick it aside.
Think about it, 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 think about it.